Greetings fellow gamers, InvaderXive here. Welcome. Today I wanted to show you guys Guild Wars 2 underwater combat with the Elementalist. So let's get started here. I'm gonna jump right into the water. There we go. As you saw there, when I jump into the water, all my skills on the fire attunement I had right now changed, and this is because in Guild Wars 2 you actually have very strong water combat a system here. I got aggroed here by this river drake. Let's start attacking him. So right now this is one of the selling points for Guild Wars 2. They talk about the water combat, and it's pretty interesting. Once you get into the water, you saw that all my skills changed, and you also have at your disposal many other type of crowd controlling effects that you normally would not get in the land area or on flat terrain, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. So when you are on the Elementalist, for those who don't know, you have 4 attunements that you can change to: the fire, water, air, and earth, and each one of them has their own specific skill sets, and each one of them is more suited for a specific type of combat, if you will. For example, fire, it's pretty much doing the most damage, and also a decent amount of AoE damage. Now when you're underwater, actually fire also has pretty decent crowd controlling effects. We'll talk about those right now, actually. So first of all, you got your #1 skill is a Magna Orb. This is your basic fireball underwater. I'm gonna shoot it to this drake here so you can start seeing it. Let me just get closer. There we go. So there you go. It's just like a normal fireball, but it's like a molten lava because you are underwater. It has a pretty slow travel time, and it could be interrupted by other enemies passing by, so you should be careful with that. Now also when it hits, it does a little bit of splash damage. It's not that big of a radius, but it's still pretty good. If you saw at the beginning of the video when I had two next to me, it actually was damaging both, so that's pretty decent. And there's nothing more to it. It's just your simple damaging spell, and you should just spam it. Okay, then you got your #2. It's called Boiled. Now this one's actually pretty cool. Has pretty cool animation. When you cast it, you see there, you boil the water around the target, and it starts doing damage over time. It's 4 seconds of damage over time, and it's pretty decent. Like I said, this also allows you to kill minions quickly that are around you, and that's it. Pretty much, it's a pretty simple spell. It's not that great. It does have a fairly low cooldown, so you can spam it quite nicely. Okay, now then you got Steam. Now Steam is a pretty cool ability because not only does it do a little bit of damage, it also blinds the enemy you hit. So let's see here. You press E. They're blinded, and they're blinded for, I believe, the next attack. Yeah, they're gonna miss the next attack they try to hit you with. It's not a blind that lasts for the whole duration. It's just one attack worth of blindness. And this is your first crowd control effect at the fire attunement, and it's pretty decent. It has saved me many times. Okay, now your next one is called Lava Chains. Now this one can hit multiple targets, and it places chains around them and slows their movement speed. Let's see if I can hit both of those. Oh, never mind, they moved. I want to see if I can hit 2 of them. Let me aggro 2. Come here, man. Hey, yeah, come here. You 2. Okay. There we go. Hit both of them. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. There we go. Both of them are hit, and they got slowed down. I'm gonna start using my AoE abilities here, and I don't want to die because this is a demo video, and it will be very embarrassing if I did. Okay, so I'm just gonna kill this quickly, or maybe not so quickly as I wished. Oh, that was a pretty close one. Okay, my gear is not that great. I haven't been playing the beta that much, so that's the reason why it took so much damage. Okay, so now your next one is called Heat Wave, and this one actually is another interesting spell, because what it does is this one actually gives you a buff to your allies, but it also deals damage. It's in a cone in front of you. I'm gonna shoot it to this Drake. Let's see. So you see the animation there. Okay. Yeah. And the cool thing about it, like I said, does give allies a pretty decent buff, 100% endurance regeneration, and it's 5 seconds. So that's pretty nice. It's a decent spell. I mean, it doesn't do that much damage. I mean, it's pretty decent, but not that high. Okay, now I'm gonna change into my water attunement. Here we go. And you got your #1 skill. It's water missile, and this is pretty much your normal DPS skill you get here, the one you're really spamming the most. Now I've found that actually the water attunement underwater is extremely high damage. Let me show you what I mean. Let's go look for one, the Barracuda, for example. Okay, your water missile, like I said, it's decent damage. It's a homing missile, so it's not that it's easier to land this one instead of the Magna orb that you had in Fire Attunement. This one's easier to land because it does home into the enemies. And you saw me there using it, so I'm gonna talk about the Ice Globe now. Now, the Ice Globe is pretty interesting because it does, if you shoot it out, it doesn't look like much, but you can actually press again and it will detonate and do a large AoE damage. Now let me shoot it to the Barracuda over there. Like, let's see how much damage it's gonna do. Okay, here we go. There it goes, and there we go. You see it's actually a pretty significant amount of damage it does, and it's also AoE damage. So like I said, it's pretty good. Pretty good for oops, that's sick. I don't want to die here, like I said. I'm gonna use it again. You see there, the explosion does a very large amount of damage. Oh, I might fall here, but I'm fine. I'm gonna kill him in time. Okay, so that's pretty much the Ice Globe. And now your next skill is called Ice Wall. And this one is actually quite unique itself again, because what it does is wherever you're standing, it will place a wall of solid ice, and it actually separates yourself from your if the target is in front of you, it separates you a little bit, and you can, if you press the skill button again, it will detonate and do damage. So let's try and do demo. Here we go. I'll spawn here. Okay, here we go. Gonna use my my tree. There we go, and then explode, and that's a lot of damage right there. I was able to kill the river, the Drake here quite fast, and I like that skill. It's kind of has saved me many times, because the AI kind of has a hard time of going around it quickly. Let's see here. I'm gonna use my tree skills here to do damage to this Drake. Let's see how fast I can kill him. One. I'm gonna put my wall, and if he comes close. Oh, he didn't get close enough. Still was a lot of damage there. Okay, I got another Drake here. He's attacking me. Okay, I'm gonna wait for my ice wall to go off cooldown. And ice wall. There we go. Explodes and a lot of damage. Okay, those are pretty much it. Now, like I said, this combo of abilities does a lot of damage. Okay, now here we go. The Undercurrent. This one is for those who don't know, Water Attunement actually has support abilities and also has healing abilities. Now the number 4 here gives you regen heal over 5 seconds, and also does a little bit of damage. Now that's actually pretty decent. Right now it doesn't heal for that much. I mean, 55 is not a lot, but I do have pretty low HP, so that's the reason why it doesn't heal for much. And let's see here. I'm gonna shoot it here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it's just AoE around myself, so you can use this if you're next to allies, or if you're getting an attack at melee range. Okay, River Drake here. Let's see if I can kill it. Okay, now your next ability is Tidal Wave. Now this one, what it does is it's a charge ability that has healing and damage component to it. So, and that's actually pretty cool. Let's see if I can show you here on the Barracuda. Let's get a little bit closer, and the heal is pretty low. It's only 7, but like I said, it's because I am pretty low level still. Let's go. Let's see how it looks like. There you go. Oh, it's not a homing attack there, but I was able to hit the Barracuda. It does have quite an AOE area, quite big. Okay, so that's the water attunement. Now let's come to the air attunement. Okay, now air attunement. Although it's called air, most of the abilities actually have to do with thunder. You know, thunder comes from air, or lightning actually. Okay, so now the first one is Fork Lightning. This is your basic attack, but I found that out of all of them, this one is the one that does the most damage, because you're gonna see here. I'm gonna shoot it, and it throws three lightning forks, but if you can hit the same target with all of them, so you can see there how quickly I kill the river drake there. I'm gonna go for another one. You see it's 3, but I only hitting one, but if I get closer, it starts hitting 3 of them, and that's a lot of damage, and you can quickly kill your enemies. I like that. It's pretty cool. Okay, now the next ability does damage around yourself. So as soon as the Barracuda gets close to me, I'm gonna charge it, use it here, and it doesn't have that great of a animation, but it does do damage around yourself. Oh, it seems to have a little bit of server lag there. Okay, so that's pretty much electrocute. It's pretty decent. It's more suited for close combat as your Fork Lightning. You see, you do more damage when they're close to you, and you can just go right and do this one too. Okay, now you got your 3 ability. It's Air Pocket. Now, Air Pocket is a pretty interesting ability. What it does basically is you shoot a bubble, and when the bubble collides, you get teleported to that location. So let's see here in the Barracuda. Here we go. And actually went too far, and that's pretty cool effect to get away from a bad situation. Let's see here. I believe you can press. No, you have to target an enemy. Okay, you press it again, and while it's traveling, you get teleported as well. You don't have to wait for it to explode by itself. Now, your level 4 ability is called Air Bubble, which is different from Air Pocket. Now, this one is a crowd controlling effect. What it does is you place a bubble around the enemy. Let's put it on this guy here who's attacking me, and they start floating to the surface. There we go. So it's basically a crowd controlling effect, and it's actually pretty decent. Oh, I think I made a little bit of a mistake there. I just noted that your number 2 is actually AoE damage around your target, not yourself. So that's pretty decent. You can nuke people or enemies as they come to you. Okay, now your next ability is another crowd control effect, and it's called Lightning Cage. And this one was basically it's what it says in the name. It does a cage around yourself that if enemies pass through it, they get stunned. You see there, they're stunned. They can't move. Now they can, because the duration it disappeared, but it's actually a pretty good ability. I can see this more as a defensive skill, because it does I believe it does only work around yourself. Let's try it on another. I'm gonna try on that one. Yeah. Okay, no, actually it does work on long range. Let's put it on the Barracuda here. Yeah, it does work long range. So this is another pretty cool crowd control effect. For this actually works on multiple mobs, so that should be a very good skill later on for underwater combat for bosses and stuff like that. Okay, so next you got your Earth Attunement. Now, Earth Attunement also has a lot of crowd controlling effects. Pretty much all of them have crowd controlling effects compared to being on terrain. And terrain, what it says here on the tooltips is actually more accurate, but right here, every skill has a lot of crowd control. Okay, now let's talk about the first one, Rock Blade. This pretty much does single target. This has 3 rocks that do bleeding damage. Now, Earth Attunement underwater and also on land, its main attribute is that it does bleeding effects on the enemy. Now, I'm not a big fan about healing effects. You can see how long it takes me to kill the Barracuda. The idea behind this is pretty much for you to outlast your opponents by placing damage over time effects, the bleed effects, and also having a higher defense than your opponent. Now, underwater, it's not that that you don't have that many defensive stats, but when you are on terrain, you do get armors and stuff like that. But okay, but your next attack is your number 2, Rock Spray. This one does upfront damage and also places bleed effect. Now the cool thing about the bleed effects, they do stack. You can see right here the bleed effects from all of your abilities start stacking, and they look pretty cool. They do a good amount of damage once you start stacking them up. Let's go. Let's try another one here. See there, and now it's gonna be taking a lot of damage over time. Okay, so that's pretty much Rock Spray. Pretty decent ability. Steel, you can't kill as fast as the lightning, for example. At air attunement, that's extremely more damaging. Okay, so next you got your magnetic current. This one is basically similar to air pocket. But what it does here is that you get pulled to your enemy, and then you stun them by actually immobilizes them. Yeah, immobilizes them for a short period of time. Like, let's look for another easy target here. Okay, Drake. I'm not gonna use it now. And yeah, you get pulled to them, and then they get immobilized. I mean, I can see this where it can be useful, but right now, like I said, it's just another movement ability you have. Okay, now next you got Rock Anchor. Rock Anchor is another interesting crowd effect, only available underwater, because what it does is sinks people. And if you put it on the Barracuda there, you're gonna see that they sink by 2 seconds, I believe. Yeah, they sink for 2 seconds, and that's another interesting crowd effect. And because underwater you do got that up and down movement on the C axis as well. So right now we've seen crowd control effects that allows you to make enemies go to the surface and also to rock bottom. Let's head to the river drake here, and finally your last ability is Murky Water, and basically what it does is it blinds people around you, and the enemy you're targeting, and also that's pretty much it. Doesn't do any damage. So let's see if we can get this Drake blinded. Let's get closer. Attack me. Okay, he's blinded, and it has a stacking duration. That's pretty decent. You can blind them with other abilities. That's pretty much it. It's not more complicated than that. Okay, guys. Well, that's basically what underwater combat for the Elementalist looks like. Your weapon is a trident, as you see there. You can find upgrades to the trident around the auction house or buy it from NPCs and stuff like that. You do have, I believe, you do get the trident from level 1, so you shouldn't have problem getting it and starting doing underwater combat right away. And well, hopefully you like this game. Please leave a comment on the video and let us know if you actually like the underwater combat on Guilds of War 2, and what would you change about it, because right now I haven't really fought against any big boss or anything like that, but apparently there will be, or they're already in the beta, big bosses that do require underwater combat, and it should be interesting. I haven't seen this depth into the underwater combat in other games. Maybe I'm wrong. and that's pretty much it, guys. So InvaderXive signing out.